back to another video. So you may have seen in my previous video with Enzo that we have the Morgan Supersport for the week. I have taken a 3.5 hour drive up to Malvern to the Morgan HQ to not only test this car but to also visit the Morgan factory to see how they're built. As you know from my experience driving the +4 manual and automatic, I was quite favoured towards the automatic over the manual, which was a big surprise to not just myself but some of the viewers. And I think the trouble with Morgans is they're such a brilliant driving experience in general that giving you the ability to flick through the gears at the flick of a switch rather than a manual gearbox just make them even more enjoyable. The Morgan Supersport's equipped with a 3-litre BMW turbocharged engine producing 335 brake horsepower and weighing just over a tonne. This car does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. Sounds incredible. It's absolutely breathtaking to drive. So it's 0 to 60 is 3.8 seconds, which is 1 second faster than the +4 I drove, the automatic version. And I absolutely love that car. So when Brands Hatch Morgan said, "Do you want to drive our Supersport?" I was never going to say no. Don't get me wrong, I've been extremely lucky with the weather this week, but I think if you give me the chance to drive this even in the rain, with how good the handling is, I'd have bitten your hand off. So to have the sunshine out just makes everything that little bit better. But yeah, I absolutely love driving these cars. They take my breath away every single time. They shock me every single time, even though I know kind of what to expect now. But they're just such a pleasure to drive. I don't know why you'd almost consider much else. I know that the price bracket of these is £120,000, which puts you in the likes of a very nice Porsche, a lower end Ferrari potentially, McLaren, but I think quite a few people have driven these and said they take this over a Porsche. And I mean, how can you argue with this? So this is obviously the successor of the +6, which I never actually got the chance to drive. But if it's anything compared to what this is like on the road, I can imagine that's an absolutely brilliant experience as well. But I think a lot of Morgan enthusiasts were a bit worried about the fact the +6 was being discontinued. But they don't have anything to worry about. I'm going to find somewhere nice to stop with a picturesque background and run you through some of the design features of this car that have changed slightly since the previous generations. So, performance review done. I hope you enjoyed that segment as much as I did creating it. I just wanted to slow things down again and really take the chance to see how beautiful this car is with the Malvern Hills in the background, where better than where Morgan have originated from. And I want to touch on the fact that even with decades of building this shape of car, Morgan always do a brilliant job of making the car look more futuristic with every design. And I think this is obviously the successor of the +6, which was always a bit bigger than a +4, obviously a lot faster. And I'm sure that Morgan were more than aware that with their next flagship model, it had to be something absolutely spectacular. And I really think they've achieved that. I didn't know if I'd fall in love with it completely straight away, but I've had the car for 3 days, and the way it drives, the way it looks, the way it sounds, it's just phenomenal. Moving around the car, I wanted to touch on the wheels, because this is the only thing that I've heard mixed reviews on and mixed thoughts on. I personally love the wheels. I know that Morgan have always had quite a classic design with their rims, and they've all been pretty much the same throughout every model they've done. But actually cutting down the spokes and giving more of a rally look helps this car look more futuristic, and I think that's what's really evolutionised this new flagship model. So the car's finished in an Aston Martin colour of concourse blue, and I feel like the angle you're seeing now really shows that colour off, especially with the cream interior and the British blue stitching in the seats. It really nicely ties in with everything, even with the matte black and black grille and the black hood scoop. I've seen quite a few specifications of this car with a lot bolder colours, and I really do think that works as well. But if you're looking for something more subtle and elegant that Morgan have kind of carried through their career of manufacturing, the blue and cream definitely works well. One thing to touch on is the Supersport comes with a hard top roof, and I'm not going to lie, I was quite gutted when I picked the car up and it didn't have the hard top on, because for me that makes the car look even better. But I understand why Brands Hatch Morgan wanted me to enjoy the sunshine and soak in some vitamin D whilst having the car. The roof for this car is also finished in the same colour, so as you can imagine it looks seamless the way it flows all the way through the top, and I think that really helps again with the design and look for this car, because it just adds to how perfect it already is. The interiors on Morgan's are always something to admire, this one being finished in a cream leather with British blue stitching for the logo and stitching through the seats. It's also got a silver painted dash, which again works really well with the kind of bits of chrome and brushed chrome that are on the exterior. So again, Brands Hatch Morgan has smashed it with this spec. Another thing that Brands Hatch Morgan do is install these kind of aftermarket, if you like, doorknobs, because one thing that's always been a struggle with the +4 and +6 models going through to the Supersport is they have these really small kind of latched door knobs on the interior to open and close the doors, and they can be really difficult to kind of get a grip on, especially for females I've heard that have long nails. So that's a great little feature that Brands Hatch Morgan have done, and if you own one of these, definitely get in touch with the consideration of having that changed on your model. So that concludes my review of the Morgan Supersport. I'm very excited to get back behind the wheel of this car and continue driving it throughout the week. But tomorrow I am heading to the Morgan factory to see how these cars are built and what's currently on the production line. So let's take you there. Here we are, just arrived at the Morgan factory, so I'm heading and have some lunch. But I just wanted to point out the car park space I'm actually on. Next to a very nice Ford GT4. From Ireland as well, which is cool. So this is a lovely colour. Yeah, time to head in to do the factory tour.
I'm not afraid to die today. I could have chose somebody else to love.
One thing that's really intriguing straight away is to already see the production of some of the Supersports and the different specs that they've been chosen on. There's a like half red and half black one, which I don't think I've ever seen configured on any Morgan, which looks really cool. I'll put a clip of that over this speech. Just about to go into the factory.
Into cold, and that's just the price of it all.
So factory tour done. It's just so fascinating to see it all being made and the coach building work going ahead on every individual car as well. Everyone kind of has their stations to do their bit that they have their expertise in. and the process of it is just fascinating. So the trees that are supplied basically cover 40 cars on average. So every tree that's chopped down can build 40 cars, which is amazing. The current production line wait is only 6 months, which for a hand-built car, I actually think is so impressive. So that's amazing. It was very interesting to see how many Supersports were on the production line and all different specifications. My favourite one was one in almost a piano key white with a dark brown exterior leather and then a cream / beige interior leather, which was so cool. Like the contrast of that was amazing. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that part of this video. I don't know what to do next. I'm kind of blown away by how they're made, and I just want to go out and enjoy the Supersport for as long as I can, knowing that it's come from that building back there. So yeah, absolutely awesome. Massive thank you to Brands Hatch Morgan for setting this up and even giving me the Supersport to begin with, because it's just been a fantastic trip. I've absolutely enjoyed every moment of it. So there we have it. The video had to come to an end somewhere, and where better than with those Malvern Hills back in the background. Overall, this car has just kind of ticked every box it possibly could as to why you'd want to buy one. I really hope that if you are in the market, this video has helped you decide that you want to buy one, because I can't tell you more about how brilliant of an experience it's been, not just to look at, but also to drive. A massive thank you to Brands Hatch Morgan for lending me the car for the week and organising the factory tour, because that was a real eye-opener to see all of the workmanship that goes into these beautiful cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe for plenty more videos to come, and I'll see you on the next one.
And that's just the